Hi guys, my name is Kieran Fink, and for my direct action campaign recruitment, I've decided to choose the company of Fairlife. Fairlife is an American brand of ultra-filtered milk distributed in Canada, China, and the United States, which is owned and produced by the Coca-Cola Company. So to begin, they are a very unethical business practice, and in 2019, undercover footage from a Fairlife dairy farm went viral in the media due to the extreme animal abuse that was captured. So in summary, okay. Hi guys, my name is Kieran Fink, and for my direct action campaign recruitment, I've decided to choose the company Fairlife Farms. So for a little bit of an introduction, Fairlife is an American brand of ultra-filtered milk, which is distributed in Canada and China and the United States by the Coca-Cola Company. In June of 2019, undercover footage from a Fairlife dairy farm went viral in the media due to the extreme animal abuse that was captured. And this was only in Indiana, but this is the one that went viral. Fuck. Hi guys, my name is Kieran Fink, and for my direct action campaign recruitment, I have decided to highlight the unethical business of Fairlife dairy farms. So for an introduction, Fairlife is an American brand of ultra-filtered milk distributed in Canada, China, and the United States by the Coca-Cola Company. So in June of 2019, there was an undercover footage from a Fairlife dairy farm that went viral in the media due to the extreme animal abuse that was captured. In summary, employees were observed slapping, kicking, punching, pushing, throwing, and slamming calves. Arm said in a statement at the time, as per today, calves were stabbed and beaten with steel rebars, hit in the mouth and face with hard plastic milking bottles, kneed in the spine, burned in the face with hot branding irons, subjected to extreme temperatures, provided with improper nutrition, and denied medical attention. These are just some of the things that were viewed and distributed to the media. And here is a little bit of photo evidence. I decided to not include the video that was captured by the undercover worker because of how violent it truly was. But you can see 114 degrees, calves were out with no medical attention, no water. They were kicked, they were dragged and beaten by these workers on the daily, and this often resulted in death. And it is important to note that this was not only the calves that were enduring this abuse, it was also the mothers, especially, that were giving birth to these calves, and then not even 2 minutes later, they were back into their milking, back into like their milking, I don't know what to call it, unit, after just giving birth, and they were automatically separated, and they were never bonded with their calves. They were never able to even see them. So other important notes, this abuse is not only seen in Fairlife, but it has become the norm for the billion-dollar dairy industry that is across the entire world. It's not only in America. But before the leak, Fairlife was adamant about its no abuse policies, and it marketed itself as an ethical and sustainable company to its consumers. And they used consumer fraud and deceptive marketing, which resulted in over $1 billion in sales annually across the United States. And this abuse was consistent over multiple sites and weeks, and was not just a small group of individuals. And as this went viral, this was only seen on a farm in Indianapolis, but they had many other undercover workers that went in as milkers that were able to capture all of the abuse. And it was happening every single day for millions and millions of cows that the Fairlife company owned. So the results, obviously, the mass media attention, the horrifying videos and pictures from the undercover milker went viral across the internet and resulted in buyer boycotts. People were all over social media, Twitter, Instagram, and people were and are still refusing to buy Fairlife products, and as well as businesses such as Giant, which is a very well-known supermarket. They refuse to sell any Fairlife products in their stores across the nation. But this didn't last for very long because the Fairlife made a statement, and a $20 million settlement and statement were issued by the Coca-Cola company, resulting in millions and millions of dollars of lawsuits from the public. And in turn, $8 million were spent in reassuring their customers that their ethics have changed. Their employees were trained and accounted for to no longer abuse the calves and their mothers in order to assure no further backlash. But it is really important to note that while I was doing my research and gathering my notes for this presentation, a lot of the media attention was averted and a lot of it was silenced and is no longer on the internet due to the sheer control that Coca-Cola has over the internet. So it was honestly hard to find many articles about it, which is important to note because there is no way of knowing how bad it truly was. But my question is, why should we still care? So despite Fairlife reassuring their consumer base that animal abuse will no longer occur, there has still been more proof that it does, and more videos have come out even in 2022 about animal abuse and about calves dying on their farms every single day. And the dairy industry in general, the Fairlife scandal is the most well known, but the industry as a whole is guilty of severe animal abuse every single day. And it is crucial that we note that across the nation, moms and their calves are being used and not being treated as animals. Instead, they're just being turned over until they're no longer needed anymore. And the false advertisements, we consume many different products every single day from companies that assure us of their ethics, but how much do they really live up to this? I think that we are taught to trust the companies from which we consume, but it is important to note that their ethics may not be as in line with their attitude as they may perceive. And here is my works cited. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening.